Hi, my name is Kathy and I would like to share some ideas from Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. His lesson on passive income is widely used in insurance and multi-level marketing companies. You may not be thinking about your retirement plans yet, as you may still be young and just started working. However, by the time you start thinking, it may already be too late. I will be making some videos on how to plan for your retirement and to retire comfortably. If you have seen my video on the power of compounding interest, you will realize that you need to plan very early. You need to create a steady flow of passive income. There are 3 ideas from the book which I will explore. First, understanding assets and liabilities. Creating passive income, and finally work to learn, not work for money. When Robert Kiyosaki was a child, he had 2 fathers. One was learned and had a PhD. The other did not even finish 8th grade high school. Both had substantial income, yet one was struggling financially while the other is one of the richest men in Hawaii. One will leave millions of dollars to his family while the other will leave lots of debt unpaid. The problem with financial literacy is that this is never taught in schools. So our parents have to teach. Unless our parents are the top 1% of the population, they will teach you to be poor. This is because they too have not been taught financial literacy. My story is similar. I was also taught to be poor. My father told me to get a good education, so that I can get a good job. And so I did. I finished my degree in engineering and went further to do an MBA. I did complicated statistics, analyzed complex cash flows, income statements and portfolio management. I got a good job in a multinational company. However, every month, my bank account was barely positive. I have no savings whatsoever. Next, you need to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Now forget what you have learned from your accounting classes. I will define it very simply. Assets are something that brings money into your pocket. Liabilities are something that takes money out of your pocket. Anything can be an asset or liability. If you buy a house, it is a liability, unless you can sell the house or collect rent. Assets are like shares, bonds, fixed deposits, and property rentals. Here's why knowing the distinction is so important. Pay attention now. The poor have expenses, the rich buy assets, and the middle income buy liabilities that they think are assets. I was like any middle class, matching my expenses with my income, buying liabilities thinking they are assets. I got married, and with my husband's income, we bought a house, furbished it with expensive furniture, bought a car, handphones, laptops and had yearly holidays overseas. We had no savings whatsoever. I thought my life was great, with many assets but had so much debt. I was operating in the liabilities quadrant all the time. Creating passive income. Broadly speaking, passive income is an income that you do not directly participate. In other words, assets that you acquired. Assets such as fixed deposits, shares, bonds, insurance and even gold. Property which you are staying is not an asset, unless you receive rental revenue. When you sell your property and make a profit, then it is an asset. Otherwise it is a liability because you are still paying the loan and utilities bill. Like electricity and water. Cars, handphones and PCs are the worst kind of liabilities. Their values drop quickly over time. Example of creating passive income. If you bought an apartment in the outskirts of Jakarta, BSD area costing 400 million rupiah, took a loan of 320 million over 10 years. Your monthly installment would be 4,010,456 per month based on 8.75% per annum. If you can rent the place for 48 million a year, you do not need to pay for the installment once the apartment is completed 3 years after your purchase. After 10 years, you would have made 176 million rupiah, approximately, if you can sell the apartment for 400 million. Simplistically speaking, this is passive income. So the rich will get richer because they acquire assets, the poor will remain poor with expenses, and the middle income is acquiring liabilities thinking they are assets. The last idea is that you need to work to learn. Don't just work for money. My husband has a friend who is an owner of about 20 massage outlets. Any new staff will be given 2 weeks training, but is required to work for him for the next 2 years. Seems like exploitation and unfair. If you are working for money, seems very unfair. But if you are working to learn, then 2 years may not be a very long time. You need to learn to massage well. Takes practice. If you can't massage well, you will not have customers. Learn from the master, watch how he operates his business, how he motivates his staff, get new clients. Then after 2 years or more, you can consider to start your own massage outlet. Work to learn. As long as you still have something to learn, stay. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe and share the video. Thank you.